Are you ready for your first comedian to come up tonight? That's what I like to hear. All right, guys. He is a good friend of mine. Absolutely hilarious. Please give it up for the very funny Greg Pfeiffer.
Hi, Ed. All right. How's it going? Yeah. Second beard out of 5 coming to the stage. A lot of beard going on. All right, I'm gonna start out. Like I know we're all thinking this. Like we feel it deep inside. We don't always verbalize, but maybe pedophiles should just bang midgets. It's close enough. But the problem is, do you know how many midgets there are in the world? Let's just say there's a shortage. You might be able to tell, I know you probably can't, that I used to do a lot of drugs. I a lot, all the time. But I stopped. And the damage was done. Like, it doesn't really matter. I don't have to do any more drugs. I hit Gary Busey level at some point, and so my brain like wanders and just thinks bizarre shit on a regular basis. This is why I also keep a piece of paper, just to remind me where I am. Yeah, paint something. Okay. Oh yeah, November 22nd. November is March 22nd Awareness Month. That one's kind of weird. Like almost every day when I'm backing out of the driveway, I hit a squirrel. They're everywhere. And and the other day I'm going to work, I back out, I didn't hit one, and I'm like, I forgot to duct tape squirrels down behind the car last night. Theoretically, if cars ran on dead puppy bodies, how many miles to the dead puppy would my current vehicle get? Write them down. This is what I'm saying. I really like technology. I can't wait. I always like the newest shit. I can't wait for the newest shit to come out. And I know that soon enough they're going to invent a time machine. Now, you won't be able to go back in time. We've seen the movies. You'll fuck up the dinosaurs and the butterflies and the Nazis. You can't do it. But maybe they'll freeze you. I don't know. But you could go like deep in the future, and I'll be able to get myself, frozen or transported deep in the future, and I'll wake up and I'll put on TV or whatever they have, and I'll be able to watch the Arabs and the Jews fight each other over the smallest, shittiest part of the moon. It might be surprising to you, but I have children. My daughter, when she was younger, if you have kids, you will know this, they will ask you to go to Disney World. And even if you've taken them to Disney World, they want to go back. And you can't tell them the truth, That's one of the things you realize quickly with kids. It's like, I can't, be like, I fucking hate Disney World. I'm a broke piece of shit. I'd rather go to Thailand and spend all that money banging ladyboys, None of those things are appropriate for a kid, So, I remember my daughter came up to me. We took her to Disney the year before. She comes up to me. And she's like, Daddy, can we go back to Disney World this year? And I'm like, oh, honey, you didn't hear? Mickey, he's really sick. They said he might not make it. Cancer. I have a son also. I decided, I'll sign him up for some kind of athletics, because he mostly plays video games or whatever. And I was like, oh, well, you sign him up for jiu-jitsu. And it's good, but it costs a lot of money, And like, and it made me realize after watching him for a while, like, my son's a really good kid. You know, he's handsome, he's tall, he's blonde, and he's not a bully. He's not gonna go around like beating the shit out of other kids. And he gets along well with other kids. So the odds are he's not gonna end up having to get in a fight. So I'm like, oh, what the fuck, you know? And so the other day, he asks me, you know, he's kind of young, he says, hey, you know, he's asking about the family tree. And, you know, wants to know about my relatives. Now, I happen to have 2 cousins that are black. They're technically half black. My aunt had sex with 2 different black guys, and bam, I have 2 half black cousins. This is not what I told him. And, you know, but innocently enough, he asks me, he's like, Dad, does that mean that we're part black? And I said, yes. And you can use the N-word as much as you want. And look who's getting his money's worth from jiu-jitsu now. I don't know if you guys heard about the Japanese guy. It was on YouTube a year or 2 ago that he spent $14,000 to have a dog costume made. Like the best dog costume ever made. Yes. So he could live his life as a dog. Yes. And you can watch him living as a dog. And he got comfortable with it, and he'd have someone come over and bring him for walks. And you can watch that. And, you know, and the thing about the costume is like, it's fucking awesome. And it's a collie dog, you know, like a Lassie kind of dog. Now, I also happen to own a collie, a purebred rough collie. And one day I'm sitting around and, you know, thinking weird shit. And I was like, oh my God, is there a fucking Japanese guy living in my house pretending to be my dog? And I'm like, oh, the costume's fucking perfect. So I have to somehow get him to break character. After a series of increasingly disturbing sexual acts, I was able to determine that my dog is probably not Asian. You know, everybody loves math, you know, comedy and math like this, you know. So, you know, this could be on the SAT or maybe, you know, whatever. So they say for every 30 pounds you lose, you gain an inch of penis. I'm currently like 215 pounds. When I get down to my goal weight of 95 pounds, listen up, ladies, you're gonna get all 5 inches. Let's see, what else can I tell you? I think probably about that time, I'll do one more joke and I'll get the fuck out of here. All right. This happened a year ago. I'm going to take out the garbage. And I go out there and there's a fucking praying mantis sitting on the garbage can. And, you know, they're really creepy looking. And I think you're not allowed to kill them or something, you know, and I don't know, I don't want to take the chance anyway, you know, because I'm a pussy. So I'm like, all right, I scoop them away on a piece of cardboard or whatever, and then I go inside. I'm like, oh, I'll look stuff up about them, you know, because I like to teach my kids science and shit like that, you know. And apparently, most people know this, the female kills the male during mating. So you have to like picture the scene in your mind, you know, like he's, you know, doing his thing and he sees her far away, like 10, 15 feet, you know, and she's stunning, just green, angular, abstract. And he feels the stirring, you know, the loins. And she, you know, she spots him right away, you know, and she likes what she sees. She gives him the old compound eye, you know. And, you know, so he knows it's on, right? So he comes up just all like. He mounts up. Now the thing about insects is, insects don't make love. Insects fuck. So he puts his proboscis in her thorax. I didn't read that far, but he's going in there, and it's just the greatest moment of his life. His kids don't go to college. He doesn't buy a house. This is everything. And it's great. And he feels like ecstasy. And it's going. And he doesn't think anything wrong is going on. And he's having a great time. And she turns her head towards him. And he's like, oh my God, when I pictured this, I never thought I'd be able to see her beautiful, scary, weird face while I was doing it. And he's just going and dogging her hard. And she's getting closer and closer. But the fucking bites his face off. Anyway, the kids were upset about that part. Thanks for having me. My name's Greg Pfeiffer. Let's bring Greg Casey back up here.
Oh, give it up for Greg Pfeiffer, everybody. Let him hear ya. To answer your question, no, he's not okay. Jesus Christ. Oh, man. Flannel Bros. Hey, man. Nice. You probably are a real man, though. You change a tire and fuck me up. So,